Making headlines. The Finance Minister expresses his desire to see Maldivian accountants working in foreign companies. The Parliament accepts and passes the Public Debt Bill and the Fiscal Responsibility Bill to the Public Accounts Committee for further consideration. And the resolution aimed at addressing the regular increase in the number of parliamentarians every 5 years has been sent to the Parliamentary Committee on Independent Institutions.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hello and welcome to PSMNEWS in English with me, Mariam Shawshat. Minister of Finance Dr. Mohammad Shafiq expresses his desire to see Maldivian accountants working in foreign companies. He made this remark during the opening ceremony of the Internal Audit Conference of the State held at the Islamic Centre's meeting hall. The two-day conference is aimed at enhancing the capabilities of government institutions and local councils. In the speech, Minister Shafiq emphasized the administration's dedication to producing more Maldivian accountants, highlighting the numerous scholarship opportunities available in this field. He noted that accountants are among the highest income earners in the Maldives, with accountants paying the highest amount of income tax in the country. The minister also stressed the need to strengthen internal audits. The conference features the experiences of professionals working in the audit field, alongside discussions on the challenges faced by internal auditors and potential solutions. Additionally, a workshop on practical auditing and audit reporting will also be conducted. The internal audit system established by the Ministry of Finance under the state finance regulations aims to ensure the accuracy of accounts, funds and financial records in the state's name. The Internal Audit Committee is responsible for monitoring the state's assets, funds and documents, ensuring compliance with financial regulations. The Parliament accepts and passes the Public Debt Bill and the Fiscal Responsibility Bill to the Public Accounts Committee for further consideration. Both bills were approved with 78 votes in favour.
The Public Debt Bill, proposed by parliamentarian of Funadu constituency Muhammad Mamdouh, aims to establish a dedicated debt management office. Once the bill is enacted, this new office will be responsible for managing the nation's public debt. The Debt Management Office is to be established within 6 months of the bill's passage into law. Under the bill, the responsibilities of the Debt Management Department of the Ministry of Finance will be transferred to this new office. The bill outlines regulations for public debt management, including rules for debt disclosure, reporting and sovereign guarantees for debts incurred by councils and government-owned companies. The Fiscal Responsibility Bill, proposed by parliamentarian of Tulustu constituency Ibrahim Nasim, seeks to replace the Accountability for Public Expenditure Act with a new system of fiscal rules designed to ensure the public finances are managed in a sustainable, transparent and accountable manner. The bill introduces measures for the state's fiscal policy and mandates the finance minister to formulate and publish a 5-year fiscal responsibility charter in the Gazette within 6 months of each presidential term. This charter must be based on established fiscal policy rules and aims to ensure that fiscal practices are both sustainable and transparent. The Public Accounts Committee will review the two bills and prepare them for further legislative processes.
The resolution aimed at addressing the regular increase in the number of Parliament members every 5 years has been sent to the Parliamentary Committee on Independent Institutions.
The resolution introduced by parliamentarian for Barashu constituency Ibrahim Shujao seeks to tackle concerns over the escalating size of the parliament with each new administration. The resolution was passed to be sent to the Independent Institutions Committee by a unanimous vote of 78 members. It highlights the need for the parliament to find a solution to the increasing numbers of parliamentarians in proportion to the population growth. Shujao emphasized that the public has expressed growing apprehension regarding this trend, particularly due to the increasing financial burden it places on the state. The resolution notes that the number of parliamentarians has risen significantly across 4 parliamentary elections from 77 members in the 17th Parliament to 93 members in the current session. Shuja pointed out, although the country's population growth rate has been slow for the past 30 years, the estimated future population growth rate would lead to an increase in parliamentary seats with each election. He called for amendments to Articles 71 and 72 of the Constitution, as well as changes to the Constituency Determination Act. Data shows that the 17th Parliament of the Maldives had 77 members, which increased to 85 members in the 18th Parliament, 87 members in the 19th Parliament, and 93 members in the current 20th Parliament.
The Parliament announces that all current parliamentarians are required to submit their financial statements by the end of August 2025. In response to concerns that some members may not have complied with regulations mandating the submission of financial statements, the Parliamentary Office clarified that according to parliamentary rules, members must submit their wealth and assets or financial statements within 1 year from the date they took their oath of office. As the current parliamentarians took their oath on May 28th this year, they are required to submit their financial statements by May 28th next year. However, the Parliament has extended the final deadline for the submission of these statements to August 31st, 2025. Additionally, the Parliamentary Office confirmed that the financial statements of the members will be made public in accordance with the parliamentary regulations. The financial statements from the previous parliamentarians are accessible through the parliamentary website, with statements for the final year of their term due by the end of August 2024. Ministry of Fisheries and Ocean Resources opens applications for scholarships for individuals seeking higher education in fields related to fisheries sector. These scholarships are being offered through a collaboration between government and the World Bank, named Transforming Fisheries Management in Southwest Indian Ocean Region and the Maldives.
There are several academic opportunities available in the field of marine science and related disciplines. These include 1 opportunity to earn a master's degree in marine science, 2 opportunities to earn a bachelor's degree in agriculture, and 2 opportunities to earn a bachelor's degree in marine science or marine biology. Additionally, an opportunity to earn a bachelor's degree in veterinary science. The ministry revealed that interested individuals must apply for the scholarships before September 1st. According to the eligibility criteria, individuals applying for the master's degree must have a bachelor's degree and at least 2 years of work experience related to the field. Meanwhile, individuals applying for the bachelor's degree must have earned a C in at least 5 subjects in GCE O-levels and a C in at least 3 A-level subjects. Additionally, the ministry affirmed that students selected for the scholarships will be provided with the necessary documentation to obtain acceptance from a university recognized by the Maldives Qualification Authority. The ministry has been making significant efforts to increase higher education opportunities within the field.
Chief Executive Officer, CEO of National Social Protection Agency NSPA announces that Asanda has allocated a budget of $1.9 million for in vitro fertilization IVF treatment. NSPA has published the preliminary list of 37 couples who have been approved for IVF treatment under the first round of the Asanda scheme.
This initiative, part of President Dr. Mohammad Muiz's presidential pledge, aims to provide IVF treatment through the Asanda scheme. Within the first 14 weeks of his presidency, plans to offer IUI and IVF treatments were unveiled. The administration aims to assist 100 couples with IVF treatment through the Asanda scheme by the end of 2024. Speaking to PSMNEWS, Hina stated that the government has sought expert advice for this new initiative in the Maldives. She disclosed that a budget of $1.9 million was sent for the IVF treatment of 100 couples this year. She also highlighted ongoing efforts to establish an IVF fund to ensure the treatment's effective and sustainable provision. Arrangements have been made to provide IVF treatment within the Maldives or abroad. Hina affirmed that accommodation and meals for couples seeking treatment abroad or who need to travel to Mala City for treatment will be covered. NSPA has released the list of applicants who sought assistance during this period. Out of the 153 applications received, 32 were deemed ineligible and 84 were incomplete. The agency will inform the 37 successful applicants of their treatment plans by July 30, 2024. Additionally, NSPA has extended the deadline for submitting forms and documents to 2 p.m. on July 31, 2024. This extension allows those with incomplete applications or new applicants to apply for assistance. Individuals whose circumstances have changed are also encouraged to reapply by the extended deadline. NSPA has also opened the opportunity to submit complaints regarding the published list. If necessary, a revised list will be issued on July 15, 2024. Most applicants were ineligible due to differences in body mass index (BMI) compared to the standard value. The agency also revealed some cases of incomplete smoking cessation duration.
Ministry of Homeland Security and Technology announces that Operation Kurangi, aimed at collecting data on expatriates living in the Maldives, will be expanded to all areas of the country this month. The operation expansion is scheduled to commence on July 18th.
Pilot programs for Operation Kurangi have already been conducted on Mafush Island and Himafush Island in Kaf Atoll. Based on the experience, the ministry is coordinating with island councils, the Maldives Police Service and the Department of National Registration to facilitate the project, recognizing that a collaborative effort is necessary for its success. Deputy Minister Ashraf Mohammed disclosed that special training sessions for island councils will be held from July 18 to July 20th to prepare for the project's implementation. Additionally, the ministry is working to establish the necessary resources, including devices capable of collecting and storing biometric information on expatriates. Ashraf highlighted that the pilot programs reveal that the potential for expatriates to relocate to other islands to avoid being documented if the project were conducted on different islands at separate times. To mitigate this issue, the project will be launched simultaneously across all islands, ensuring comprehensive data collection without allowing expatriates the opportunity to evade the system. The administration is committed to addressing the issue of illegal immigration by establishing a robust system for collecting and maintaining information on foreigners residing in the Maldives. Additionally, a major operation has been launched to ensure that no expatriates live in the Maldives without a Maldivian sponsor responsible for their presence in the country.
Maldives immigration reveals 2 Bangladeshi men involved in illegal foreign exchange activities have been detained in the Maldives. The arrests were made during a special raid operation conducted by immigration officials and Maldives Police Service in the USD ATM near Social Center in Male on July 3rd. Immigration authorities disclosed that the 2 individuals are currently being questioned as part of ongoing investigations and were also found to be living in the country illegally. Earlier this year, in March 9th, immigration detained and deported expatriates who were engaged in foreign exchange activities. There were 6 expatriates from Bangladesh who were living in the Maldives illegally. Fenaka Corporation Limited announces that it will cease providing electricity to street lights that are not connected to Earth Leakage Circuit Breakers (ELCB) by the end of this month. The decision follows a safety inspection of street lights on the islands where Fenaka provides electricity.
The inspection revealed that many islands were receiving electricity for their street lights without the necessary ELCB. As a precautionary measure, Fenaka stated that only street lights with sub-distribution boards installed according to safety standards and samples will continue to receive electricity. The island councils served by Fenaka were informed of this decision on June 9th. Initially, councils were given until June 27 to install the required sub-DBs. However, due to multiple requests and the significance of the work, the deadline has been extended. Fenaka has assured that it will install the sub-DBs free of charge if the necessary materials are provided. Alternatively, the corporation will supply the required resources and install the sub-DBs with the assistance of its technical staff, with the costs being billed accordingly. Fenaka emphasized the importance of this work to meet the standards set by the Utility Regulator Authority. Consequently, the corporation will not provide electricity to street lights that do not comply with its safety standards by the end of July. Fenaka branches will monitor the councils to ensure they address this issue promptly.
Maldives Islamic Bank (MIB) introduces self-service kiosks to allow customers to access banking services independently. The initiative aims to provide a more convenient way for customers to manage their banking needs. The self-service kiosks are currently available in the Male City and Hurmale branches, with plans to expand the service across the atolls nationwide. MIB has assured that employees will be available to assist customers in using the kiosks as needed. In addition to the kiosks, MIB has launched several other services to enhance customer experience. Among these is the Apply Now service, which is recognized as one of the fastest and most effective banking portals in the nation. Apply Now allows customers to open accounts without visiting the bank, making MIB the only bank in the Maldives to offer such a service. The new section of the Apply Now portal enables individuals to purchase goods and assets and withdraw money for various purposes remotely. MIB stated that all banking services will be accessible through the portal, further simplifying the banking process for customers. Samsung Electronics is expected to post a 13-fold increase in second quarter profit from a year earlier as demand for artificial intelligence technology fuels a rebound in memory chip prices.
According to the average of an LSEG Smart estimate from 27 analysts, parading profit for the world's biggest maker of memory chips, smartphones and TVs likely rose to 8.8 trillion won, or $6.34 billion in the quarter ended June 30th. The amount would be Samsung's highest profit since the third quarter of 2022. It compares with an operating profit of 670 billion won in second quarter of last year. Performance at the tech giant's key semiconductor division likely continued to improve its second consecutive quarterly profit as memory chip prices keep rising from a mid-2022 to end 2023, though that was caused by weak post-pandemic demand for gadgets that uses the chip. Analysts say that explosive demand for high-end DRAM chips, such as high-bandwidth memory, chips used in AI chipsets as well as chips used in data center servers, and gadgets that run AI services are underpinning a broad recovery in the chip industry. According to the data provider TrendForce, during the second quarter, memory chip prices jumped by about 13% to 18% versus the previous quarter for DRAM chips used in tech devices and 15% to 20% for NAND flash chips used for data storage. Meanwhile, according to an average of 10 analysts' forecasts, estimated quarter two operating profit at Samsung's chip division was 4.6 trillion won. This compares to a loss of 4.36 trillion won for the same period last year. The analysts said that its mobile business likely saw its quarter two operating profit shrink versus last year despite shipping a similar number of smartphones due to steeper parts cost and higher marketing and development cost for AI services. The mobile business likely reported an operating profit of around 2.2 trillion won, down from a 3.04 trillion won profit a year ago. Samsung is expected to compete with rival Apple at the top end of the market when it launches its latest flagship foldable phones and mobile accessories, including a new ring for health monitoring, on July 10 in Paris.
In an election campaign dominated by hardliners, Iranian presidential hopeful Masoud Pezeshkian stood out as a moderate, backing women's rights, more social freedoms, cautious detente with the West and economic reform.
Pezeshkian narrowly beat hardline Saeed Jalili for first place on June 28 in the first round of voting, but the two men will now face a runoff election on July 5 since Pezeshkian did not secure the majority of 50% plus one vote of ballots cast needed to win outright. Pezeshkian, a 69-year-old cardiac surgeon, lawmaker and former health minister, was up against candidates who more closely reflect the fiercely anti-Western stance of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, the country's ultimate decision-maker. And yet, the mild-mannered Pezeshkian narrowly won Friday's vote and made it to the runoff in the election to pick a successor to Ibrahimi Raisi, who was killed in a helicopter crash in May. His chances hinge on attracting votes from supporters of current hardline Parliament Speaker Muhammad Bakir Ghalibaf, who finished third in the first round, and encouraging a young, disillusioned population hungry for change but disenchanted with the country's political, social and economic crisis to vote for him again in the runoff. Although he advocates reforms, Pezeshkian is faithful to Iran's theocratic rule with no intention of confronting the powerful security hawks and clerical rulers. His views offers a contrast to those of Raisi, a Khamenei protege who tightened enforcement of a law curbing women's dress and took a tough stance in now moribund negotiations with major powers to revive a 2015 nuclear deal. Pezeshkian's election campaign gained momentum when he was endorsed by reformists led by former President Mohammad Khatami, and when he appointed former Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif, a key figure in crafting the nuclear deal, as his foreign policy advisor. Implicitly referring to the appointment of Zarif, who hardlines accuse of selling out Iran in order to reach the deal, Khamenei said on Tuesday, anyone who is attached to America will not be a good colleague for you. In 2018, then US President Donald Trump ditched the pact and reimposed sanctions on Iran, calling it a horrible one-sided deal that should have never ever been made. His move prompted Tehran to progressively violate the agreement's nuclear limits. If Pezeshkian does go on to win, this would hinder Iranian hardliners who are opposed to the revival of the pact. However, under Iran's dual system of clerical and republican rule, the power to shape key state policies, including foreign and nuclear affairs, ultimately rests with Khamenei. As a result, many voters are skeptical about Pezeshkian's ability to fulfill his campaign promises.
India's cricket team arrives in New Delhi's Indira Gandhi International Airport on Thursday to a hero's welcome after their spectacular triumph in the T20 World Cup.
India's T20 World Cup winners returned home to a hero's welcome with skipper Rohit Sharma and his players held by euphoric fans jostling to glimpse their stars. Emotions in the Indian capital ran high as fans travelled long distances and waited at the airport overnight to catch a glimpse of their cricket heroes. Despite monsoon rain, crowds gathered outside the New Delhi's airport long before dawn, waiting for a glimpse of their idols who had beaten South Africa on Saturday in a thrilling final in Barbados. India prevailed in an edge-of-the-seat thriller against South Africa in Bridgetown, Barbados, to claim their second 20 overs global trophy 17 years after winning the inaugural edition. But their consistency in recent years was never in doubt. India lost back-to-back finals of the World Test Championships in 2021 and 2023, while their only defeat in the 50 overs home World Cup last year came in the summit clash against Australia. Their last World Cup victory was at home in the 2011 50-over edition under the captaincy of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. They ended the barren streak in International Cricket Council (ICC) events on Saturday, June 30th, when India became the first team to win the T20 World Cup, going unbeaten in the tournament.
A new exhibition looking at the evolution of Barbie opens in London this week as the famed metal doll celebrates her 65th birthday this year.
Barbie, the exhibition running at the Design Museum from July 5, features more than 250 items from the Barbie universe, including an array of dolls showing her changing appearance, design sketches and dream houses. On display is the first edition of the first Barbie released in 1959 with blonde hair, angeled eyes, dressed in a black and white swimsuit, along with later models representing different races, hair textures and shapes. Other firsts include a black Barbie and one in a wheelchair. One section dedicated to career roles includes a police officer, scientist, doctor, presidents, and a voter, while other focuses on Barbie's long-term companion Ken, who was introduced in 1961. In an interview, curator Daniel Thom hopes that those who visit the show come away with an appreciation of detailed research and the rigorous design thinking that goes into the making of Barbie. Senior Vice President of Design for Metal, Kim Coleman, notes that Barbie's resonance and culture has never been larger, more prominent. The exhibition coincides with Barbie's 65th birthday this year and follows on the huge success of last year's Barbie movie starring Margot Robbie, which grossed $1.4 billion at the global box office.
Well, that's all we have for you right now. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more news updates. Have a good day. Goodbye.